Then how about sequential data? And the one being very popular is called recurrent neural nets, neural network. What this network did was that it created this hidden layer. But this hidden layer, when you have a continuous, sorry, not continuous, when you have a sequential data, you can still making use of this, this value that from the previous, time steps, and combine with your new sort of value input. So this state, they create some kind of state. This state could keep changing over time. So from that, hopefully you can actually remember the history, right? By just using this, state, this hidden state to represent or summarize the history. But of course, this vanilla recurrent neural nets perhaps not useful, because then, given this vector represent, maybe they would already forget about look when you have a longer history. So people do is using this so-called long short-term memory, is that creates additional gate to say, okay, given this gate, I can actually control whether I will forget or keep remember what happened in the history. Then it turned out to be, practically quite successful model. And also you can have this, clockwork kind of RNN to dealing with different sort of frequency when you think about the history. So this one of the important tasks in the about sequential data is of course this all this natural language problems, and in this NLP community, people tend to introduce or tend to sort of construct this so-called language model. So what this language model is about is really try to sort of to capture the certain correlation, between words when you try to generate this language. And the starting point is sort of a word embedding, right? So when you have this word embedding into it, then you try to sort of based on that, try to predict all the history, then become kind of your context, and then try to predict what next word it is. So it's quite pretty much similar to the these embedding models that we just learned. But here is that they want to try to do is that they want to generate a sort of a language, right? They want to generate language rather than sort of learning this word embedding. So the basic one is that once you have that prediction, and you can using that word coming back as your knowing words, and then to predict next word it is. Therefore, you can actually generate a sentence. So you can using this recurrent neural network to build that as well. So that's a very way to building the language model. I will talk about this, the latest language model as well in a minute. So this is the you can in fact making use of deep learning to fusing two different type of data. For example, let's say image or text. For example, a potential application is that you can generate a description about a given image. So the image would be the sort of let's say image would be input, right? Then output would be the textual data, right? This would be image. But you can obviously do it the other way around. So how you can do that is, in fact, the reason neural network is, and also all this embedding technique is quite simple. Is that you make use of this neural network, like a convolutional neural network, to dealing with visual data, and then create some sort of embedding, and then you can using this like a sequential model, like a recurrent neural nets, or kind of bidirectional recurrent neural nets to to capture this relationship of those words and put them together. Then you create some sort of cost really to see the alignment of images and sentences, and using that as a loss to propagate that to your visual part, and also propagate to your sequential text data part. Yeah, so you can use them to generate image descriptions.